Hello everyone, this video is titled What is relative formula mass and how do we calculate it? This is a calculation video. You will need your own calculator and a copy of the periodic table if you plan on going through the questions on your own. So first of all, as always, let's just look at a really quick definition. So another video that I've got on my channel is the video about relative atomic mass. So if you haven't watched that, I would recommend watching that video first and then playing this video, okay? So the relative formula mass is the sum of all of the relative atomic masses of each element. And that is because when we are looking at relative atomic mass, we are looking at just an element. If they are asking you the question which asks you for the relative formula mass of something, they are asking you either the formula mass of a compound or an element that is a diatom, okay? So this is something different from relative atomic mass. Relative atomic mass is looking at a single atom. Relative formula mass is looking at groups of atoms, different atoms added together, which makes compounds, okay? So I've got a couple of steps here that you can follow. You'll realise that relative formula mass is, again, a very, very simple calculation. Although it comes up in the calculation chapters of your courses, it's a very, very simple addition calculation. There's really not much in there, but there are a couple of steps here that you can use, and these are the steps that I tend to use. A couple of different names that come up. You do see the term molecular mass come up. Again, I will kind of loosely use all of these four terms. Again, in terms of what we're going to use from the periodic table, we are only concerned with the top numbers here of all of the elements that we are going to look at, okay? The relative atomic mass of each element we look at, the top number. So let's have a look at a couple of examples. I'll do some worked examples together with you, and then I think at the end of this video I've got some questions for you as well. So you do need your periodic table if you want to follow what I'm doing, and you also need a calculator as well. So the first thing you want to do when you get a question is you want to list out all of the elements, and I'm going to do these in the same colour. You want to list out all of the elements that are in that compound, okay? So if you look in hydrochloric acid, or HCl, I've got H and Cl, okay? Now hydrogen has a relative atomic mass of 1. Chlorine has a relative atomic mass of 35.5. Now, if you split this up into its two elements, you will see that there are no little numbers attached to either of those elements. So there is actually just one of each of those elements, okay? So essentially we are adding 1 to 35.5, which gives you the MR of 36.5. Okay, and that's your final answer. That's all you're doing, and you can put that in the calculator, so you can go 35.5 plus 1. Okay, you probably won't need to, but that is all you do. You literally write out, and I'll just go through what I've done here. All you do is you write out the elements that are in the compound. Remember, these are all compounds. We're looking at the atomic masses of the elements that are in the compound and then using their atomic masses. So these are the elements H and Cl. The relative atomic mass using my periodic table for hydrogen is 1. Chlorine, 35.5. There is only one atom of each of those in HCl, so I just need to add 35.5 to 1. Okay, and I can put an addition symbol there to show you that we've added them together, okay, to give us 36.5. Now, if we look at magnesium chloride, we've got two elements here again. We've got magnesium and we've got chlorine. Magnesium has a relative atomic mass of 24. Chlorine, as you can see, we just did it, has 35.5. Now, magnesium, there is only one atom of magnesium in magnesium chloride, but we've got a little 2 here, okay? So we're going to bring that down and put it here. We'd actually have to times 35.5 by 2 and then add it to 24 times 1, okay? So if you do 35.5 times 2 plus 24, you will see that you get an answer. The MR of magnesium chloride is 95. Okay, so you're just totaling up these two figures. The next thing you've got is methanol, CH3OH. So lots of elements here. Okay, so we've got C, we've got, and I'll do the dashes to show you, we've got H3 there, so that little 3 is attached to that hydrogen, and then we've got an O, and we've actually got another H. Okay, so we've got CH and O here. Now there is only one atom of carbon, and carbon has a atomic mass of 12. Hydrogen has an atomic mass of 1. Oxygen has a relative atomic mass of 16. So I've got those numbers from the periodic table. The next numbers that I write in are the atoms of each of those elements. So as I just said, there's only one atom of carbon. Now you've got a 3 atom of hydrogen here, plus this one here. So there's actually 4 atoms of hydrogen. There is only one atom of oxygen. So again, we're going to do 12 times 1 plus 1 times 4 plus 16. Okay, so again, you could put it into your calculator. You've got 16 plus 4, 20, plus the 12. You've got an MR of 32. Okay, so there's another way you can write these out. So sometimes students find just the listing the each of the elements difficult. So I've just been writing 12 times 1, 1 times 4, and not writing the answers. You can do that. You can do it like so. Let's look at aluminium. Aluminium's got aluminium oxide, 2 elements. It's got Al and it's got oxygen. The relative atomic mass of aluminium, so I'm looking at my periodic table, looking at the top number, and it is 27. Now there are 2 atoms of aluminium, so I'm going to put 2, and I've been leaving out this step, but you can add it in. 27 times 2, it gives you 54. So you can do that if you want to. You've then got oxygen. Oxygen has a relative atomic mass, so look in your periodic table, look at the top number for oxygen. It's got a relative atomic mass of 16, and you can see there's a little 3 here, so you times it by 3. Again, we can work that out live straight away on the calculator. It's 48. Okay, so I'll just show you that 2 has gone there, that 3 has gone there. Okay, you would then do 54 plus 48, and it gives you 102. So the MR of aluminium oxide is 102. So it doesn't matter what way you work it out. Here I've just been doing the sums and not the answers. Here I've done the sum and the answer. You do whatever way works easiest for you. I do recommend always doing some kind of working though, just in case, and you do see it happen. Sometimes these questions can be worth 2 marks, okay? 1 mark for the working out and 1 mark for your answer. So it's really worth, even though you're using a calculator, it is worth writing it all out like so. Okay, I've now got this iron sulfate. Look at the different elements I've got. I've got iron, I've got sulfur, and I've got oxygen. So iron, sulfur, oxygen. In terms of their masses, look at iron in the periodic table. It has a relative atomic mass of 56. Okay, and there is 2 atoms of iron. Okay, so again, you can do that in straight away. 56 times 2 equals 112. We've then got sulfur. So sulfur here in the brackets, just 1 atom. The atomic mass of sulfur is 32. Now, if you look at how many there are in the brackets, there's 1 in the bracket times by 2 on the outside. So we're actually going to have 32 times 2 here, okay, which is going to be 64. We've then got oxygen. Now you can see relative atomic mass of oxygen is 16, but we've got 4 in the bracket times by the 2 on the outside. So 4 times the 2 gives us 8. There's actually 8 atoms of oxygen. So 16 times 8 gives you 128. We would then add those 2 numbers together. Okay, so 3 numbers together, 112, 64, 128, and you get the final answer of 304. Okay, so a couple of different ways you can work them out there. You can just write out the sums like I did up here, or you can write out the sums, their answers, and then add all the answers together. Okay, that is how you calculate relative formula mass. You are just using the numbers from the periodic table, timesing by how many atoms there are of that element in the compound. Okay, so this slide here, there is some examples for you to try. You can see that C and H we have already done on the previous slide, so you don't need to do those again if you don't want to, but you need to use your periodic tables and your calculator to calculate the relative formula mass of the following compounds and their elements. Okay, so you can, and the reason it says elements here is because F2 is a diatom. So obviously F is fluorine, it's an element, but because there is 2 atoms of that element, you actually calculate its relative formula mass. Okay, so have a go at those. Pause the video now because the answers are about to come up. These are your final answers. Well done if you got all those right. If you didn't, have a rewatch of the video, maybe try them again. Again, with all calculations, the best way to get better at them is by practicing and doing lots of questions and then marking them yourselves. Okay, so rewind the video. Have another watch if you need to, but if not, well done for getting these all correct.